I'd love to see coasters of your face, like the KPod cover. If I could get coasters of that, I would love that a lot. Stickers, magnets, fucking bookmarks. No, maybe not. Yeah, no, fuck it. Bookmarks.
Yeah, bookmarks, yeah.
You do like t-shirts and shit. I feel like there's a lot of potential. I would proudly wear my KPod t-shirt. There's a drag queen that I really love that was just on Drag Race, and she's like a legendary drag queen. She's been doing drag for like 30 years at least, and she did like the most unique, interesting merch, and it was fantastic. Like she did like high top sneakers with just like her promo pic on it.
What?
Like on the tongue of the shoe and on the side, and then she did sandals too, so you know that we got, or like slides basically, so we got slides, and they're just her face and her name, and I'm like,
That's great.
so stupid, and I love it so much. She did doormats, like it's the most weirdest shit, but it's so funny, and like I think merch can be funny just based on what you do.
That's true.
Like kind of think out of the box. So I think we have a collab coming.
Yeah, we do.
I think that'll be great. I just heard you gulp.
Yeah, I had a big drink of water.
Get that. Yeah, I have tea and water. I have tea on my left and water on my right.
Got tea on my left, water on the right.
Stay hydrated. Oh, we should do like a t-shirt with like your face on the front and then on the back, the cover for Kevin Hart's podcast with a big X through it.
He is my rival. Welcome to the Kevin Kevin
Welcome to the Kevin Podcast.
Episode 7. Featuring Fred Van Queer and Kevin Angus.
And it's always like the first nice day of the year when everybody through winter, like very early spring, people just are so fucking dumb. We cannot control ourselves. First nice day of the year, people don't give a fuck. They will bicycle through a green light, no shits given.
They have to follow traffic laws too. That's like the thing about bikes that I never followed as a kid.
Do they? Do they have to?
I mean, I don't know.
They should. They should have to.
Has that happened to you before? Like
Somebody was like, let's fight right now.
yes, that exact thing, yeah.
I don't really think it's happened with driving. Like when I was younger, I definitely had more of like I wouldn't say road rage, but I was definitely kind of like, I was just easily pissed off at everything back then. So like, of course, like driving is a stressor. And I was used to like seeing my dad like flip everybody off and like not pay attention to the road and shit. So I don't know. I just kind of,
Yep.
I've never had that with driving. One time in 9th grade, I was at a football game at my high school, and a girl named wanted to beat me up. She like told everybody, and then she was like determined that it was going to happen at the football game. And I was like, I just want to watch football with my friends. And she was like, I don't even know why she wanted to beat me up. I do not remember the story. I have no idea. But she came up to me at the football game and gave me a hug. It was the weirdest drama, and like there was no good payoff. I didn't like
What?
It was so weird, dude. It was so weird. We went to middle school together also, and she was like always just a really weird human being. But I know that she was working as a mattress saleswoman, so I hope the best for her and for many sales. Yeah, that was the only time I've ever like had any kind of
Physical altercation, almost, maybe.
yeah, that I can think of, but never with driving.
It was, I think for me, the one driving instance, I was the one that kind of runs past the airport. It's that long stretch of road. It might be like, I couldn't even tell you what the name is, but it was that long stretch of road where there's like occasionally like a stoplight and there's that boulevard in the middle, like the grass in the middle of it or whatever. I think it was similarly like you were saying with, not exactly like your dad, but there was this guy and
It was my dad.
he tried to cut me off. Yeah, it was your dad. He tried to cut me off or something, and it was a 2-lane road, so he was trying to go around me, or I was trying to turn. I think what it was is I turned onto the road and he was flying down it anyway, and like I did a right on red, but like he was in the other lane anyway, so like it didn't really impact him one way or another what I did.
Right.
But I turned onto the road and he like swerves and as he passes me, I just like without even acknowledging or looking in his direction, I just hold up my hand to like the driver's side window with a middle finger up, and he sees it. And I'm not even joking about this part. He like spins the wheel and comes to a sideways stop in front of me and tries to block me and gets out of his car and is like, "You want to go? You want to go?" And I just drove away. But he spun the car to like stop at like a perpendicular angle to me, who was still in my car, to try to cut me off to prevent me from running away to fight him.
Wow.
And I still managed to run away anyway. So he, not too good of a maneuver on his end, but I just couldn't. That was honestly, I think that was the last time I ever flipped someone off. I'm like, I don't want to antagonize those kinds of people again, because
like
I couldn't even tell you what I don't even remember exactly what I could have done wrong outside of just flip him off and maybe make him upset about the turn that I made. Perhaps, I don't know.
That's what's so crazy. Like, there's no logic with people like that. And honestly, it's like, are you in GTA? Like, why are you like spinning around and you're like, you want to go? It's like, no, I'm just trying to go home. Like, I don't know. I've never been that angry to like an irrational point where I'm like, fuck everything. I'm putting everything on the line so I can kick your ass if you choose to get out of the car.
To fight this guy, maybe. And I don't think he even looked that intimidating. Like, I'm not saying I could have taken him, but I don't think like he could have done that much damage to me. I wasn't counting on him not, bringing a different weapon to the fight or whatever. So you can't take those chances. But I don't think like he wasn't physically like intimidating, and it wasn't like he was in a big old pickup truck. He was just in a little junker sedan, just like me. Like we were in the same types of car.
His Honda Fit. He's like, you want to go?
You gotta ditch the Fit. It's time to ditch the Fit. That's all I'm saying.
Man, people are so stupid.
Just fascinating. The mentality of a person to think that I would actually also take him up on the offer. Like, I don't know if he thought that side of it through as well for himself.
Exactly. Like, I wonder if those people are just like expecting the other person to always say no. Like, what if you say yes? What are the logical next steps? You both get out of your car. You start throwing punches in the middle of the street. Like, I don't know where that could go except down. It's just not.
And he put a lot of trust in me too, because like, again, he gets out of the car and starts walking towards my car. Realistically, if I was just as angry at him, I could have just hit him with the car.
Absolutely. That's
he just trusted that I was enough of a big old PU55Y to neither fight him or hit him with my car.
55Y.
Yeah, like I said, I had to censor my language. PU55Y.
Right. Of course. The fives. Yeah, that's just it's unnecessary. The alphanumeric censoring. Yeah, I just think that's fragility there is alarming to me. Like, fucking crazy. But at the same time, it's like there's definitely people that have like legitimate like anger, like road rage. I mean, I don't get it, but I get that. But like, I feel like there's still a little bit of fragility that plays into that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he probably reflected on that moment and also came away with, I need to control my road rage. He probably just was like, I can't believe that guy ran.
Right. There's like no thought process besides that. The first thought.
Whereas I was like, oh, maybe I'll use this as a growth moment and, try to better myself and not flip people off when I'm driving.
Right.
So I stopped, but.
Then you just like roll down your window and yell out a promo code for therapy that you heard on your like favorite podcast and just drive away. There is no, yeah.
Just to be pushed to that point.
Absolutely. Promo code BetterHelp.
The resale value for copper is insane for things like that.
It's really interesting. I'm surprised my dad never got into that because I feel like he was coming pretty close for a while and he was like doing like junking shit. Like people would just bring washers and dryers to his house and just be like, you got this. Can you do something with this? He's like, sure. It's like so fucking weird. I'd pull up to my house and he just had a trailer. One time he just had 3 boilers stacked on it. It was a microwave, several air conditioners, and I'm like, what are you like? Something isn't legal. Something in here isn't legal. I don't know what, but it just feels weird. And he just
Yeah.
doing it. He was probably stealing mufflers under car.
He knew his way around junk, you know?
Remember the time that we towed your car
I was just thinking of
through
it.
downtown Albany?
Oh yeah, my dead car that didn't even run, and we did not have a tow truck. We had a chain.
Oh my god, the chain on
And that, do you remember the panic when I detached?
us in the middle of it's 5 o'clock on a weekday. Oh my god, that was so like,
Oh yeah.
can't believe we did that.
We had to go downhill.
I was so scared that you were just gonna hit us because you couldn't no control. And my dad was like, it's fine. But it was.
He was so nonchalant about it. Like he was like, I got this. This is the easiest thing I've ever done. Like he's definitely done that before, it felt like.
100%. It makes me think that he might have stolen a car before, but we will never know. No, like it's wild. Like he's a fascinating man. Like it was hilarious to me. It was surreal, and it was just like, this is so extra. Why are we doing this? But he's just a nice guy. He is.
I couldn't question it at the time. I could only be both thankful and terrified.
Exactly. That's the typical combo. I ever tell you about the time that back when I was living at my parents' house still, he was oh man, they were doing a total overhaul of the upstairs bathroom for the 3rd time in the last 5 years. Why? Because why not? So my dad was working on the shower, and the upstairs bathroom is right above the kitchen.
Mhm.
And we were in the kitchen talking to my mom, and I like went into the living room, and then all of a sudden I just hear something drop. I just hear my dad like, son of a what the fuck? And I'm like, oh god. And my mom is like, I wasn't shrieking, but she was like, ah! Like it was just very like chaotic. So I run into the kitchen. My dad accidentally like sledgehammered through the shower floor,
Oh.
and his foot I'm sorry, he didn't I told that wrong. He didn't use a sledgehammer. He used his foot. Well, he like started with a sledgehammer and then was like pounding it with his foot. And he fucking like he was doing something with the drain, but he like shoved his foot into the floor and it kicked the ceiling of the kitchen. It all just fell down. So I just see my dad chew, and I'm like, this place is not safe. Like I gotta go. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it was great. He was fine.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
And the shower looks great.
They always do in the end.
But it was just like, what kind of home improvement sitcom did I just walk into? Like, why? Why?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Billy, and I'm a devout listener of the Kevin Podcast. I put it onto my iPod every day when I plug it into my iMac. I highly recommend the Kevin Podcast, and I like listening to the Kevin Podcast. Give it a shot. All right, thank you.
Dude, I got tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias for my dad's birthday last year. This has been torturing me. I do not give a shit about Gabriel Iglesias. My dad, that's like his favorite comedian.
He's the fluffy guy, right?
He is fluffy. That is correct. My dad loves him, has watched every one of his comedy specials. So like the funny thing is last year, I was going to either get him tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias at the Palace or Jeff Dunham at the Times Union Center. It was a lose-lose, but I know that my dad loves them both so much. And to be fair, like my dad's a hilarious guy.
He is, yeah.
He also loves like Rodney Dangerfield, like he's seen him live, like George Carlin, like Chris Rock, like he has great taste in comedy throughout the years, but he really has faltered in his 60s. I love him so much, but what has happened, I don't know. So anyway, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get him tickets and hope that my mom wants to go. She immediately, when I brought it up to her, she was like, oh no, I think that would be a good bonding activity.
Oh.
You and your father. So I was like, all right, cool. So I get him tickets to
Yeah.
see Gabriel Iglesias, and it gets delayed, and then it gets moved to like April. I got delayed. It was October, then that got delayed, and now it's in this May. And then they just moved it again.
So they've actually rescheduled it every single time?
Every single time, he's so committed. He actually added
Seriously?
another show. Yeah, like he's so committed, which I give him credit for. But like the hilarious thing is they just stopped emailing me about it. The other night I was driving through downtown Albany and they had, and like when I drove past the Palace, it was his face and it was like new date, October 22nd. And I was like, they didn't even
Oh my god.
tell me. They were like, if you remember in a couple months to check on this, go for it. But otherwise, like you're on your own. So I just happened to see it and was like, cool. Now it's on the week of my birthday. It's the best way to celebrate.
I'm astonished because like I had one comedian like I was gonna see Dimitri Martin as well.
Mm.
I think it was like in April leading up to last year, and he just flat out canceled it. And of course I was like, that makes sense. I was terribly sad because I've only seen him, a dozen times.
Right.
And, there's definitely new material I'm not gonna get to hear, I'm sure. But like that's what's astonished me, the fact that he's rescheduled it so many times. Not even even if he did just the first 2 times,
Right.
that would have been, enough. But the consistency to be like, no, you're coming to see me.
Literally the 5th time. Right. Like
Oh, that's great.
And the funny part is we're seated like a row in front of my aunt and uncle, and it's going to be my dad and my aunt are exactly the same, and it's just going to be them
Oh, boy.
cackling for hours. Like I'm so really excited just for that.
I think I saw his like titular fluffy special like back in the day, like on Comedy Central. I think that it was funny enough because I was in middle school, but like I can't imagine that his shtick has evolved much beyond the fact that, hey guys, guess what? I'm fat.
Right, exactly.
Don't forget, guys, still fat.
Can you imagine if he shows up for the show in October and he's just like rail thin? He's like, he's like ripped.
He's been doing like intermittent fasting, and he's just like, hey guys.
There's no fluffy jokes at all. It's not even mentioned. It's just like completely
a brand new him. I'd love that. And then your dad storms out like he's just not the same. He's changed.
And then I have to get tickets to see Jeff Dunham in 2025. Oh man.
I can't believe he, of all people, is still touring though. Nobody can want that racist puppet thing anymore. Like,
I know. So many do.
So was it even good, I guess is the question to ask.
No, it was really just like he is, for me, like I'm sure there were a couple things that were funny that are probably deeply offensive that I know are deeply offensive.
Yeah.
But like maybe the less offensive stuff was funny. I don't know. But like he was good at, can't think of the word, someone's gonna say puppetry.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Marionettism? I don't know.
It's a terrible disease that he was extremely talented at. So I think that's just captivating. And then like if he's a little bit funny on top of it, that just adds to it. So I think my dad really got sucked into that because he'd always be like, this guy, he does all of these characters with the like he was very like into him doing multiple different voices and doing them so well. So I think that was the big thing.
Okay, I can see this. I can see the appeal there a little bit.
Yes. And like not to be like he's mainstream, so he's not funny. It just like it just wasn't for me, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. My parents still watch Everybody Loves Raymond. It's like, I love that for you, but like, I'm not.
Raymond,
Deborah!
your mother's a whore.
That was never once said on the show. Honestly, that show's funny, so I'm just lying.
Deborah. Oh, jeez.
Come on, Ma.
Raymond.
You're a fucking idiot. Isn't that guy's voice like really high pitched? Like when that's like a fake voice he puts on, like similar to Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brad Garrett? Never. No way.
I'm pretty sure that he has like a higher voice, like it's a fake voice he puts on.
Pulling a Jeff Dunham.
Maybe I'm just lying about that, and I've heard that from somewhere, and it's wrong.
I hope so, because he's like, I feel like he's the best part of the show. I hope so. I have no emotional stake in this whatsoever. I don't give a shit.
All I'm saying is that better be his real voice. Or maybe Ray Romano's voice is fake. I don't know.
Oh,
jeez. I hope so. Human Kermit?
I know. That's a little bit too Kermity.
Oh, Deborah.
This is so awful.
Terrible. Thank you for listening to the Kevin Podcast.
That guy's name?
H. John Benjamin.
Thank you. What does the H stand for?
Maybe it stands for Hank.
I think it stands for Horace.
Oh.
He looks like his name is Horace.
Yeah, like Horace Slughorn.
Yes, exactly. His name is Harry.
What?
Doesn't seem right. Not believing Wikipedia. I scroll down more and now it says Henry John Benjamin. So we have a Harry and a Henry.
I'm getting some conflicting information here.
Yeah.
He's purposefully like obfuscated his Wikipedia so that it tells multiple H names, I think.
That's just telling me that it's Horace. Like, I don't...
Or Hank.
Could it be Hank?
So what's the verdict? Hank? Henry? Horace? B. Slughorn?
I'm on page 7, which, like, after you get past page 2 of Google, you're not moving forward to page 3. You know what I mean? Like, you're never...
Yeah.
Don't have patience to do that. And, like, you found all the results that you need on page 1 always, but page 2 is, like, worst case scenario. I am only being told that his name is either Harry, Henry, or H. So...
Just the letter H?
Just the letter H.
Wow. He's like one of those guys that got something erased from the internet.
Maybe he did. I can't believe I just spent that much time.
Like when Oprah did like crack cocaine or something on her show or whatever.
Wait, who said that?
Oprah. Remember that? When she said that she did crack once or whatever? Or she did coke?
What?
I think she said that once. I think she said, yeah, I did crack once, or I don't know.
Really?
Or coke. I don't know.
Wait, are you thinking of Wendy Williams?
I don't know.
She had a Lifetime movie out last month, and that was like something that was revealed.
Odds are, if this is something that I'm repeating, it's something I heard secondhand, and I could just be getting all the details wrong. So, but for some reason, I thought that Oprah did coke, and she admitted it on her show once, and then like she went and did like a big, like, you know how you can get like these services that try to like erase stuff from the internet by basically flooding Google results, like basically with fake dummy websites, effectively to get rid of the results that actually have the video or whatever, because you can't actually delete things from the internet, but like you can hide them. And I think that's what she did. Or I'm lying.
I typed in Oprah Coke and I came up with a commercial for Coca-Cola. So then I typed in Oprah CRA and comes up with Oprah crab cakes.
Damn.
So
she really did a good job scrubbing. I mean, she's got enough money, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And the crab cakes look great. And also you're going to get sued and this podcast is going to get shut down within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm done. For libel.
Man.
Thanks for listening to the Kevin Podcast.
Goodbye. See you.